US dollar is backed by the US tanks. Company stock is backed by the assets of the company. Many people think Bitcoin is a scam since the value seems to come from thin air. Does Bitcoin has any value at all? Different people has different viewpoints. In my eyes, Bitcoin is a network. The value should be measured by the dispersion of the coins. And at the same time, Bitcoin is not like traditional IT network. It is not a network of information. It's a network of value and consensus. The content of this episode was originally posted in July 2018 at Zhihu in Chinese. My first and also main point is that Bitcoin is a network and its value depends on how many people is using the network. Or put it differently, the dispersion of the coins. Must all value be backed with some assets? Not necessarily. WeChat certainly values more than billions, but is not backed by any visible assets. Same is true for Facebook and Taobao. Why are they so valuable? The answer is that they are all networks. Take WeChat as an example. If I am the only guy using WeChat, does WeChat has any value? No. But if I can connect my family with WeChat, a small network is formed and the value is there. With the value of network nodes rising, the value of the network rises exponentially. With the number of network nodes rising, the value of the network rises exponentially. With all our old mates, clients, supporters connected, WeChat's value exploded, like many Chinese people experienced in person. Likewise, Bitcoin is a network too, with each holder as a node of the network. A side note, tech geeks will tell you a machine with Bitcoin client is a node, but that's not the viewpoint I take here. For the last 10 years, coins are dispersed to the hands of many people. The outsiders see only the market cap, but what matters is the dispersion. More holders bring larger network, and therefore the value of network is greater. That explains why the same Bitcoin worth more and more, and believers still consider there is a value behind the price. That brings us to the end of my first point. The second point is equally important. Bitcoin is not merely an IT network like others, but a network of value. One of the famous figures in Bitcoin field named Andreas Antonopoulos once wrote a book called Internet of Money, and I highly recommend that. But is the value of Bitcoin overvalued? Like WeChat, Bitcoin is a network, but there is a big difference between traditional network of information like WeChat and the network of value like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for the first time in history, enables people to pass something on internet to another person. And before that, you can only share something with others, which means you still hold a copy. Keeping a copy for ourselves won't harm if we are sharing some information, but it's not acceptable if we want to pass value. To quote Xiaolai Li, one of the Bitcoin early investors in China, the internet implemented the zero-cost information transmitting. 20 years later till now, all industries have been heavily impacted by internet. Blockchain implemented zero-cost value transmitting, so it's very hard to imagine how much our world will be impacted. Mainstream people are not yet using Bitcoin very often, but within the circle of crypto people, there are real-world use cases for Bitcoin and in many places as well. Bitcoin means freedom to pay. Money is your vote. Bitcoin is a network of value based on network of consensus. We are here at the third and last point of this episode, and we will cover why Bitcoin is also interesting from a social perspective. Consensus does not only happen with Bitcoin. The fancy word blockchain simply means consensus achieved by cryptography. People used to base their trust on a small number of so-called trustworthy people. But now Bitcoin people try to rebuild a new society with its root of trust based on consensus of everybody. Our society pays a lot for the lack of trust. Blockchain is here to build the trust with mass. It's ridiculous to hear people saying blockchain is a wonderful new invention and Bitcoin is a scam, since Bitcoin is the thing that brings blockchain to us. Bitcoin is money issuing based on the consensus of everybody. That's why Bitcoin is trustworthy, because everybody are watching. Bitcoin is money issuing based on the consensus of everybody. That's why Bitcoin is trustworthy, because everybody are watching. To conclude this episode, Bitcoin showed us the right direction of our future, but I am not saying Bitcoin is 100% the final solution for the job. So it's risky to invest in Bitcoin. But for me, Bitcoin is still the best for the job, at least for now. So I put in a certain amount of money each month and never care about the short term. Price will pump and dump, but the value of the network grows only gradually with people like you and me coming in.